one. So the Lakers did not perform the way that we had hoped in game one, but there was a lot of great takeaways from game one, and the Lakers should feel really good going forward with the series. Denver played about as good of a game as they could play in a game that should have absolutely been just a complete and total blowout. But the Lakers kept fighting, found some really good things to build upon for this series going forward. And I really do have confidence that the Lakers are going to steal game two in Denver and beat them and be the first team to win in Denver and kind of just take control of this series. One of the big factors that I think is going to continue to be a big factor is Rui Hachimura. His size, his ability to shoot the basketball, his ability to be a mismatch for multiple guys on Denver, I think is only going to improve and be better. I think his ability and his strength to defend Jokic, I think was a huge sort of shift and something that you can take away and go, oh, that's how we're going to approach this going forward. And yes, Denver is going to make some changes. There are going to be some adjustments, but I don't really see what Denver can do that's going to be a major significance and change. And, could they try to, because now you have Rui as the primary defender on, Jokic, right? Anthony Davis is kind of playing in that spiral. Well, now you could maybe try to run some pick and rolls with Aaron Gordon. But if you are the Lakers, why even fall into that trap? If Aaron Gordon wants to take 10 threes, let him take 10 threes. He's not a good three-point shooter. He was 0-3 in the last game. I just think if you're the Lakers, you just keep Anthony Davis in that spy route. You make guys fight over that screen. And, don't even challenge Aaron Gordon, right? Make the defender fight through that screen. Don't go under the screen. Go through the screen. Fight through that screen. And contest the shot. And you live with it, right? I think that would be the approach that the Lakers should do if they were to make that adjustment. And now look, Rui Hachimura is not going to stop Nikola Jokic. He's not. But what it does is it allows Anthony Davis now to play in that help spot. It allows guys to better defend individually. It keeps Anthony Davis from getting worn down over the course of the series. And if Jokic just wants to keep shooting over Rui, you let him. The reason Denver was so great today was because it wasn't just Joker who was going off. It was everybody. The entire team. I mean, all six guys were in double figures for Denver. So if you're Denver, you want it to be like that. You want everybody to get things going. You don't want Jokic to just be a scorer and go get 40 a game and not dishing out assists because he's just trying to shoot over Rui all game. If you're the Lakers, that's your best course of action. I think that is going to be a huge factor. I think Rui is going to be a huge factor, period, in this series. And I think the Lakers really seem to have figured out Denver in that second half, right? And how is Denver going to look when the game is tight from start to finish? How are they going to look when they're not shooting 55% from three? Lakers defense just failed to show up. It was bad. Denver was getting whatever they wanted on the offensive end with little to no resistance from the Lakers. But the Lakers were getting everything that they want on the offensive end against Denver and their defense. The difference is the Lakers can make that adjustment. We know the Lakers are a good defensive team. We know that they are the best defensive team in the entire playoffs. Denver is not as much. So I think the possibility of the Lakers continuing to score 120 to 125 points is extremely high. I don't think Denver's going to score 132 points again. Denver's holding teams to 112 points per game in these playoffs. Lakers are holding teams to 105. So could Denver put up 115 a game? Sure. But it's going to take more than that to beat the Lakers with the way that they were just getting whatever they wanted on the offensive end. And you got to imagine that D'Lo's going to step up at least a game. Lonnie Walker's probably going to have a better game at some point. Dennis Schroeder's probably going to have a better game at some point. Outside of Rui, Reeves, LeBron, and AD, nobody else really played great. But those four guys can play that way night in and night out. Like, they didn't play so good it was unbelievable. It wasn't like they couldn't miss and they just were getting everything. They were getting really easy shots, really easy looks. Rui was getting like wide open mid-range shots. And he missed a couple. Just wide open, no one around. So is Denver going to be able to continue to shoot the lights out? I don't think so. I said the same thing in the Warriors series, and people thought, oh yeah, they can't, and they weren't. Eventually, they came back to reality, and the Lakers' defense picked back up. I expect the same thing to happen in this Denver series. I really think you're going to see the Lakers go into Game 2, and I think you might see the Lakers dominate Game 2. And I'm not talking about like they beat them by 30 or something like that. I just think you're going to see the Lakers in control pretty much start to finish. The Lakers played about as poor of a game as they possibly could have. Denver played as good of a game as they possibly could have. They literally played arguably their best game of the entire season, and they only won by 6 points, and the Lakers had a real shot at tying the game or even potentially winning that game. That doesn't bode well for Denver. There's no way Denver feels good after that win. If you're the Lakers, you got to feel great. Darvin Ham, he's got to be in that locker room like, look, guys, come on. We played awful, and had a chance to win this game. Pick it up, play our game, and we're winning this handily. And I think Rui is going to be a major factor. Anthony Davis, look, Anthony Davis was great, right? And again, you're never going to stop Jokic. But to allow Anthony Davis play spy and be the help defender on the blind side, and Rui being the defender on Jokic, that allows you to kind of just all Anthony Davis has to do is spy and keep an eye on Aaron Gordon. You're going to move LeBron to Michael Porter Jr., which means Michael Porter Jr., I don't imagine is going to go off the way he did this game. I even think LeBron might completely take him out of the game. And then you're going to have Austin Reeves on Murray. We'll see how that matchup goes. And then D'Lo on KCP, right? I just think that is much better defensively than what we've seen in this game. And I think you still have the offense, even more so than with Dennis and Vanderbilt. And I just think you just put as much pressure and as much wear and tear on Jokic as you possibly can. Rui is a big, physical, burly type guy. Again, he's not going to stop Jokic, but he can get into him, give him some hard fouls, body him. Like, Jokic was trying to back him down on several occasions, and Rui was not moving, right? He was standing firm, standing strong. And so his ability to do that, Jokic, of course, he's gonna have moments where he just rises up and shoots over the top of Rui. I think you live with that. You keep everyone else at bay. You have LeBron completely take Michael Porter Jr. out of the games. Anthony Davis just keeps an eye on Aaron Gordon and makes sure that he doesn't backdoor him. And then I think Anthony Davis just comes and helps, right? And if Jokic wants to kick it out to Gordon and Gordon wants to shoot 10 threes, fine, you live with that. If he makes 8 of those 10, so be it. You live with that. But you make him have to beat you. And I think the Lakers really found that gem. I think Rui and his ability to at least stand firm, right? That's the key. We saw that that was a huge factor in the Minnesota series, right? And look, Jokic is not Karl Anthony Towns by any means, but you saw Karl Anthony Towns really have some fits with Rui, and Karl Anthony Towns is a great offensive player, right? And he had trouble. Jokic is bigger and just a higher IQ guy, but still, I do think Rui in spots can give him just a challenge. And that's all you want. Challenge Jokic. Jokic is still going to get his 30 plus a game. That's fine. But if you can keep Anthony Davis healthy, fresh, and looking like Anthony Davis to close out games, Jokic looked like he was getting winded in that game. Towards the end of the game, he wasn't moving as fast as he was. He wasn't playing the game the way he was. He kind of seemed like he didn't even really want to like get in some of the actions. He just looked gassed. And if that's what you can do over these 7 games and have Rui just keep wearing him down and Jokic just doing everything and getting worn down, that might give the Lakers an opportunity to win some games that they might have not otherwise. I really think Rui poses a problem on both sides because his ability to switch, right? Like he can switch on Murray. He's not very good moving laterally and staying in front of guys, but it could be worse to have a guy in Rui with, a 7'2" wingspan or something like that, 6'8", got good size, can bump Murray a little bit, get him off his spot. I think that could be huge for Rui on just the defensive side. And he becomes a guy that they're really going to have to guard. Because if he's in the game now, that means either Michael Porter Jr. or Aaron Gordon are going to have to guard Rui. And I think Rui can abuse either of them. I think Michael Porter Jr. isn't physical enough, and Rui's just going to bump him off. I think Aaron Gordon is physical and strong enough, but I think Rui has more in the bag in order to get his shot off and do what he needs to do against Gordon. I think that Rui is going to be the huge X factor. I think you're going to see him average 15 to 20 points per game, and I think you're going to see him really start to wear down the Denver Nuggets over the course of this game. Again, he was getting like wide open looks, and not by design. He was just getting to his spots, giving you a little pump fake, taking a couple steps in, or they were rotating out on LeBron James and Anthony Davis trying to close out, and then you get the swing pass and Rui's just wide open, right? Him, Reeves, LeBron, and AD, I think are going to continue to play the way that they played in this past game. And I don't think D'Angelo Russell, Dennis Schroeder, and Lonnie Walker are going to play worse than they did. The sky's the limit for them. They played about as bad of games as they could have, right? So I think if you just get any type of production from one or two of those, you definitely win this game. And I think you're going to win every game going forward. I think as long as Anthony Davis continues to score, and I'm not saying he has to score 40 a game, but if he's giving you 25 to 30 a game, which I think he's more than capable of in this series because they have literally nobody to stop or slow down AD. Jokic doesn't even look like he's contesting at times. I think it seems like he's okay with Anthony Davis just getting some buckets. So I expect them to continue to just apply pressure. I expect the Lakers and Anthony Davis to continue to dominate. I expect LeBron to continue to be aggressive and be a scorer. I think Rui Hachimura is going to get whatever he wants. I think Austin Reeves is going to continue to get whatever he wants. And I think the other guards in the series are really going to pick it up. Because, again, they can't play any worse. D'Lo is very inconsistent. He's been very inconsistent all playoffs. But all he needs to do is have 1 or 2 games where he's really good. And then you only need 1 or 2 games where Lonnie Walker's really good. And then 1 or 2 games where Schroeder's really good. And you win 4 out of the next 6. Boom, there you go. I trust the Lakers. I think the Lakers figured out Denver. I think Rui is the factor. And I think the Lakers win game 2. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Do you think Rui's going to be a big factor in this series? Do you like the matchup with him against Jokic? Again, Jokic is going to have his way. But I just think what Rui on Jokic does really opens up a lot more for our defense. But anyway, love to hear your thoughts and opinions.